What is a real man? Think about our culture's definition. Look at movies, look at magazines, listen to music, and look around social media. What do you see? Muscles, money, and women. A real man is tough. He doesn't show his emotions, and he knows how to handle his own business. Real men have money. Who cares if he blows that money on trinkets and silly stuff? The point is, he has money. A real man has women. You can't be a real man if you don't have a girl, right? What if the culture is misleading us of what a real man is and his nature? Our high schools, colleges, workplaces, and for a lot of people, our homes are filled with trying to be legitimate. The problem is we're looking for legitimacy in an ever-changing culture. And right now, our culture is based on the acceptance of promiscuity and really the infallibility of the almighty dollar. Once you dig below the surface of what our reality tells us a man is, something different is exposed, something divorced from the cultural nonsense, something grounded in truth. Not a perceived one, but something real. Today, I'm going to give you the 10 commandments of being a real man. So, let's get at it. All right, gentlemen, so let's talk about the first of the 10 commandments of being a real man, and that is real men respect everyone. Look, real men don't trash talk or badmouth other people. I know you're saying, look, Rob, some people in my life, like some teachers or some of my bosses, they actually deserve everything they're getting from me and others. They deserve to be put down. Don't you think that's right? So let me ask you this way. What do you deserve? Think about all the awful things you've done and what should people be saying about you? See, now if you think about it that way, you'll see that a real man puts no value in tearing other people down. He realizes that people are not so much different from himself. He also realizes, more importantly, that God is not glorified when you tear down other people. Which brings us to commandment 2. A real man builds up those closest to him. There was way too often that I saw men, when we would go out and just hang out together, that we would toss our friends underneath the bus, our wives and our girlfriends, and talk bad about them. We toss them under the bus for their failures, for their mistakes, and really use it as an opportunity to bring them down, to build us up. But listen to me. Show me a man who builds up his wife and his friends, and I will show you what a real man looks like. Real men give honest compliments to people when they absolutely deserve it, and we say and do things that only build people up. Number 3, a man never leads a woman on. Guys, let me be real with you. If you're dating a woman or you have a girlfriend and all you want from her is sex and you have no intention for a legitimate long-term relationship, you need to tell her. You need to let her know in the beginning of the relationship what your intentions are and not lead her on. Real men respect women and themselves, and being honest with your intentions of a woman is the most important way that you show that you're a man of character and a man of value. You don't date a woman for the fun of it and give her the expectation that you're wanting to build a relationship with her and that you're going to be exclusive with her if you don't have any intention of doing that. You need to have value for yourself and your time and the type of man you are, that you're upfront with the woman with your expectations and you don't lead her on, that you want something permanent and exclusive with the woman you don't want that with. I have a video about choosing a woman. So you probably shouldn't be in a relationship with a woman who you don't want a long-term relationship with, but that's a different conversation. Real man commandment number 4. Real men work hard, but never chase paychecks. And that should be obvious, right? This is legacy, gentlemen. We are building our legacy. Laziness is a modern day epidemic, no doubt. But just as bad, guys, is the pursuit of a paycheck. A real man is not lazy. A real man does work hard, but a real man never allows the almighty dollar to drive his hard work. Real men work hard because they're pursuing their purpose. The reason why God put him on earth. Because look, a lot of times when we're just pursuing a paycheck, that turns us from a loving, involved husband and father to a distant, selfish person. If you're working to only make your paycheck larger and your bank account larger, you're really missing out on a lot of life. See, look, real men recognize that our culture is lying to us and we act accordingly. And when you do that, it allows you to work hard, rest hard, play hard, be present as a father and as a husband, and nurture your relationship with God. Make no mistake, pursuing a paycheck at the expense of your family and God is not the mark of a real man. It is the mark of a wasted life, and you will never build a legacy doing that. Real man commandment number 5, real men never choose hobbies over marriage or family. Look, I love to play video games. I would play it every day. And you know what? I'm good at video games. But there's really nothing wrong with having hobbies. Like I said, video games, motorcycles. I love all that stuff. But I also have a wife and 2 kids. And I have a full-time job. And I have a social media channel and a business and a couple of businesses on the side. And you know what? There's only 24 hours in the day. Sometimes something has to go on the back burner. And real men understand that that something is not his wife, his kids, his job, or his relationship with God. Look, there's a season for fun. Golfing and fishing and hunting. That has to go in the back seat. Hobbies are just that. They're hobbies. They're stuff to have your extra time. And real men never choose their hobby over their family or God. Real man commandment number 6. A real man pursues purity. I remember as a young sailor visiting a lot of tourist spots in Asia, and you know what? When everybody got off the ship, they were pursuing sex like a lion who hadn't eaten in several days. And you know, you would get out there and be women wearing next to nothing, begging for your attention and begging for you to come over. We really do live in a sex-crazed world. And men, we cannot use that as an excuse to feed our sexual appetites. We must value purity in our thoughts, in our conversation, and in our relationships. And look, guys, that's easy for me to say because I've been married for a long time. And it's still a struggle for me and a lot of men to maintain that purity, maintain that control of ourselves so that we're not lusting like we did when we were boys and teenagers. But look, as someone who knows what I want my daughters to be and what I want my marriage to be, it's always been important to keep my mind and my intentions pure for God. That's part of being a real man. And look, our culture will lie to us. It tells men that, hey, porn and using porn, and even if you become addicted to it, it's not that big of a deal. But look, it is a big deal. And if it's something that's bothering you so bad and ruining your life, you probably do need to get counseling. Don't worry about it. Get that counseling so that you're not addicted to your lust. Man, God has intentions for your life, and it's not for your mind to be filled with lust. It is not God's intention for anybody's life. Real man commandment number 7. Real men have self-control. Yes, if someone forces you to react, then you're not in control of yourself. So if another person's actions forces your hand, someone else is in control of you. And you know what? That's dangerous. A real man is not controlled by his emotion. He is not controlled by others. Despite the lies that the world tells us, true strength comes from God and God's purpose for your life and being in control. True self-control breeds a life of less regret and more stability. A real man values self-control, and that is what we should all be striving toward, more self-control. Real man commandment number 8, real men look to God for his identity and worth. Hey, look, a real man doesn't look to the world for his identity or his sense of worth. We don't look to our status. We don't look for the bank account. We don't even look toward our children and our wives and how good they look and how successful they are. We draw our strength from the Lord. God is the only source of lasting strength, and real men acknowledge that. He then uses that strength to lead his family, run his business, and interact with his peers at school, at home, at work in a way that glorifies God. Men, that is what we should be doing every day. Men, if you turn elsewhere for strength, identity, and a sense of worth, don't be surprised if you find the ride exhausting and all your goals unattainable. Riding the cultural waves of wokeness is dangerous, especially if you don't know where the waves are really coming from. Real men don't ride the wave. We have our identity built in us because of the God that lives in us. Real man commandment number 9. Real men celebrate the success of others. If you cannot celebrate the success of others, then there's something wrong. This dog-eat-dog, clout-hanging, clout-chasing culture is a lie. Real men celebrate with their friends, they celebrate with their wives, they celebrate when their co-worker has something positive that happens to them. He is able to do this because he's secure in his identity because, as I said, it comes from God and it has nothing to do with this world. A real man is confident in his own ability and his talent and the position he is, and he's able to celebrate others. What God's going to have for your life is going to be a product of you searching out God and working your purpose. It has nothing to do with anyone else. There's more than one seat at the table of life. Pull up a chair, let others sit down, and as a man, you should be leading anyway. Real man commandment number 10, a real man pursues integrity. Integrity. This word may be above all others. It doesn't matter how big or small a matter is. He is consistent in what he does. It doesn't matter if no one knows the outcome of his decision. A real man doesn't cheat. He doesn't cut corner. He doesn't make unethical business decisions. And look, guys, here is why. A real man doesn't live for others or for the cares of the world. He lives for God, his purpose, and he's trying to live out to be the best him he can be. You see, a man who operates one way when no one is around and another way when the world is watching does it for one reason. He is more concerned about the world than God and his personal integrity. He is too concerned with the approvals of others and cares too much about the world. Look, a real man never sacrifices his honesty and integrity on the altar of approval. Gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed this video on the 10 commandments of being a real man. Please leave me some comments on what you think, if you thought I've left anything out, or if you thought any of them really hit you. Also, I have another video on the thing that real men do. So check it out, and I'll see you next time. And hey, go be legendary.